Representing the government this morning, Greg Hands, new chairman of the Conservative Party. Hello to you, Mr. Hands. Thank you for joining us on
Good
the
morning,
programme
Kay.
this morning.
Morning.
Congratulations on your new position. What are you going to do to help these people surrounding me this morning?
Well, look, we already have on our way 76 aid first responders, 4 search dogs. These have been directly at the request of the Turkish government. Obviously, I've just seen your report and the horrific scenes, and our hearts go out to everybody who's been affected by, as you rightly point out, Kay, this in terms of this earthquake happening at such a challenged part of the world, Syria, the Turkish border. I mean, it's a really terrible situation and in many ways a terrible place for this to actually happen. But we are responding. We'll respond to any further requests from the Turkish government in particular to provide assistance from the UK.
What was the delay in sending the aid?
We've sent the aid as soon as we can in direct response to the Turkish government request. It's on its way at the moment. I think it may be about to arrive this morning.
Yeah, I think it arrived actually about 1 o'clock yesterday, but it was delayed. It should have arrived the day before. Minutes matter in circumstances like this. Do you know why it was delayed?
I don't have the facts of the length of time. But all I know is that we have responded directly to that request from the Turkish government. We stand ready to provide more assistance should further requests come through.
Are we sending anything else?
Are we sending any help? We've sent, as I said, 76 people, 4 dogs. We stand ready.
Are we sending anything else?
Are we sending anything else? As I said, we're going to respond to requests from the authorities, from the Turkish government. We stand ready to do so as soon as we get those requests coming in.
What about financial aid?
Well, we already provide, of course, a lot to the region. We're one of the biggest bilateral donors, in particularly to Syria. I think that will be something that would have to be looked at in the round as and when requests come in for that assistance.
You know, I'm going to ask you about the foreign aid budget. It should be 0.7% of UK GDP. That's certainly what it was under David Cameron's regime. He introduced it. It continued. We have reduced that to 0.5%. Do you have any idea what impact that could have on people like these these youngsters around me if there was more financial aid coming from the 6th most financially structural power like the United Kingdom?
Well, the UK, of course, shapes up very favourably when it comes to our aid budget overall. And obviously, we have the commitment to restore the aid budget as soon as we're able. The fiscal position here in the UK allows us. There's been no reduction to aid to the region. We remain one of the biggest bilateral donors, in particular to Syria, the awful situation that's been going on there, obviously in advance of the earthquake. But this is something the UK will be restoring on the aid budget to get back to 0.7%. But as I say, we do shape up very favourably internationally in terms of the amount of aid that we are giving.
OK, and when will we go back to 0.7%?
Well, when the UK fiscal position allows that. As you'll know, Kay, we've a difficult fiscal position here in the UK. We're getting to grips. One of Rishi Sunak's key priorities is to reduce the debt, halve inflation, get that position under control so that our public finances can improve and allow us to do that in due course.
This year?
Well, look, it wouldn't be right for me to speculate on the future fiscal position. I know that the action that we're taking, we've got a budget coming up next month, but you'll have seen in Rishi's key 5 priorities laid out last month the importance of the fiscal position. You know, 3 of his 5 priorities are reducing debt, halving inflation, restoring growth. There's all a connection between those to improve the UK's fiscal position to allow us to spend more on the people's priorities going forward.
Yeah, we say that, but as I said, we're the sixth richest nation in the world. I'm just going to move out the way. You can see this tented city behind me. Nathan can show you in a bit more detail. These people are sleeping in ice and snow in sub-zero temperatures. They've absolutely lost everything that they had. They ran out in their bare feet, some of them from Syria, and this is where they're living. They're relying on countries like us. We said that we would give 0.7% of our GDP, and we're not.
Well, the UK, as I say, Kay, is one of the biggest bilateral donors. The amount of money that we give, I say, shapes up very favourably to international comparators. I absolutely understand the situation there is. I know that region well. I've travelled in that region before myself. Antakya, Gaziantep, Aleppo. These are places I know well, and I can feel what people will be going through at the moment. But as I say, the UK, our position is very favourable compared to many other international countries, and we are committed to improve on that position going forward.
Okay, I just want to alert you to something quite alarming, actually. It's an app. It's been called a snitch app. It's been released by the Turkish government, and they are calling on the Turkish people. The disinformation reporting service has been open to the use of our people. You can download and report the suspicious fake news produced and spread about the earthquake disaster to your phone. What would you say to the Turkish government when they issue stuff like this?
Well, look, I haven't seen the details of that app.
Well, trust me, that's all we've got.
Well, I'm not really able to comment on a Turkish app here live on your programme. What I will say is the UK is watching the situation with the earthquake, the humanitarian disaster that is unfolding. That is why we have responded to requests from the Turkish government to provide the assistance that we have provided, and we stand ready to provide more.
Yeah, but this could put aid agency workers and journalists working on the ground, illustrating what's happening here, at risk. Surely you must condemn something like this.
Well, look, I think we'd have to have a look at the details. I haven't seen or heard about this app. I'm sure our embassy in Ankara...
Let me put it this way to you, Mr. Hans. Forgive me for interrupting you. Let me put it this way. Sorry to interrupt you. We're almost out of time. Will the British government look at this?
Well, look, I think the Foreign and Commonwealth Office, I'm sure, will study these reports. We've got a very good presence on the ground in our embassy in Ankara, and I'm sure this is something that will come to their attention. But in terms of responding to the humanitarian disaster, as I say, the UK has been responding. We stand ready to respond further as and when we get those requests come in from the authorities and from the Turkish government.
Before I let you go, congratulations again on your new job. Surprise election victory coming from you, do you think?
Well, I think we're building towards a general election next year. We've obviously got difficult local elections this year. The Conservative Party is overall in good shape. Membership is improving. The financial position of the party, I think, is improving. I'm definitely up for it. I know Rishi Sunak is up for it. We're really looking forward to taking on Sir Keir Starmer's unreformed Labour Party and the other parties as well. I think the Conservative Party will have a really good story to tell at next year's general election, and we're definitely looking forward to it.